What's up, everybody? This is Nick, and you're joining us once again for Micro Mini Not That At All, a Pull Up a Chair podcast. I'm used to saying the Micro Minis more, but I want to welcome everybody for joining us this day in April. It's April 1st here, and I'm joined by my good friend and local prankster.
This is Eric.
And Eric, today we're going to do something a little different. Normally, the people are used to us talking about, nostalgia and bringing them the news they can use. But today we're going to do something a little different. We're going to mix it up a little bit. I received the other day from our good friend and fan of the show, Little Ryan Fowler.
Oh, yeah. I know that guy.
He said, "Dear Nick, I found this meme. Please enjoy." And it was of Keanu Reeves in a white outfit that showed End Game.
What?
The End Game. John Wick End Game is what it was called. It said, "Purple alien snapped fingers, dog disappeared, John Wick End Game."
Oh, okay.
Because that's what the new Marvel movie is called.
Yes.
Avengers End Game. So it got good old Nick wondering. I said to myself, Nick, what would a crossover of John Wick, which you and I are huge fans of, and this MCU truly look like?
Yeah, what would that look like?
So, Eric, today we are going to propose the script.
Okay.
For John Wick End Game.
So this will be a crossover?
This is a crossover event.
Okay.
Of course, John Wick being the main hero, but here are a few ground rules.
Yeah, what you got?
It has to be, you can use anything in the MCU.
Okay.
You can use anything in the John Wick universe. You can't pull in other Keanu Reeves characters, because I know a lot of theories out there about Endgame have to do with time travel. So speaking of time, let's go ahead and get the timer started so we can talk more about this in 3, 2, 1. But I was thinking even bringing in, who we talked about last week, our good friends Bill and Ted. as the means for time travel, but I thought, no, that'd be too easy. We may do a Keanu verse crossover event in the future. We'll do more of these crossovers, but I am saying we are telling the story of how John Wick avenges his lost dog.
Oh, so the dog was
dusted.
Okay, the dog was dusted. His second dog.
Second dog, yes.
It's dusted. All right, I got an idea. here.
Okay.
I got a couple hooks.
Okay.
One is the Continental Hotel. It's in a hotel for assassins and the people in the line of work he does. Who is a person who is more human, less power, less of a power player with powers or superpowers that is on the Avengers?
You're talking about Falcon or Tony Stark?
Nope.
Or
female?
Oh, Black Widow.
Black Widow.
Okay. So, Assassin. I see that. I see where you're going.
So, how did she end up? She got dusted, right?
No,
she's good.
She's good. She's
good.
Still out there.
Okay. That's good. Makes it even easier then.
And let me lay out one more rule.
What's that?
We can't no guessing on. We might have some spoilers for Endgame here.
Well, that's not fair. They gave us that pre-production release,
right?
With the test footage to get our input,
right?
And so we have some insight.
You know
knowledge.
What I told them?
What?
More John Wick.
More? Yeah, there's not enough. What is that? John Wick in this.
Yeah, they're like, we don't own him. I'm like, John Wick.
And they're like, we'll see what we can do.
Yeah,
I'm like, no.
No, sir.
See what you can do. What's that?
You will not see what you will do. You will find John Wick.
Yes.
So, Eric, okay, so you're bringing in the assassin angle. Go for it.
Yeah, so we have the Continental Hotel, which Black Widow would clearly be affiliated with, and like either staying there, because it has rules, and it could be a place where she could relax.
Okay.
During her assassination days. What else? So I'm assuming she would have met John Wick there at some point. So they brewed a relationship, just professional and,
killing folk bring people together. I see what you're saying.
You've been on vacation. You meet someone's in the same hotel, and you just keep running into them. You learn, they're doing this or that, and you kind of get to know them. And with the amount of time both of them probably spent there, they could have built this relationship up to a point where maybe she knows like his phone number and can contact him.
Okay. So I'm going to go a different angle. Okay. So opening scene. I'm going to set this for you.
Oh, you're going all out.
Buddy.
I feel like I didn't do enough now.
Well, we're going to build. I love your idea. We're going to build on that.
Oh, okay, cool.
But opening scene, I thought about this, like how is the best way, or what is the best way to introduce John Wick or introduce this plot point?
Okay.
So we know at the end of John Wick 2, he is running from other assassins.
Yes, he is. And
so it's him, he's defending himself. There's this team of about 5 assassins coming after him. He's killed one. And they're all hunkering down behind things to try to shoot at him. And him and his dog's on one side. The dog has run through the assassins and is now joined up with John Wick. And John Wick is sitting there and he's like, "Good dog, stay down." And as he goes to shoot, the assassins all turn to dust.
Oh.
And he looks over and he hears a whimper and the dog is slowly being turned to dust.
Nice.
And and he just kind of looks around.
It's quiet.
Yeah. And it's just dead silent. And he's trying to figure out what just happened. And that is the opening scene right before the credits hit of him. He just kind of, he's all, because he's constantly bloody. He's got like bloody nose or something. But anyway, he's a little, bloody, but he's like looking around trying to figure out what just happened.
Yeah. Okay.
And so that's when the credits hit. And so then we cut to him like a few months later.
Oh, hold on.
Okay.
I got one change to that. Say he has 4 assassins on him. 3 get dusted. 1 is confused. He's confused. He's got to kill somebody, so he gets to kill that guy.
Okay, I can go with that.
That?
He just stands up, and the guy's like, "What happened?" And he's like,
"Boom," and he's like, "What is going on?"
And he watches the dog like whimper and
dust. Yeah,
and get taken away. I want it to be an emotional takeaway because that's what John Wick deserves. It's kind of like the Spider-Man thing where he's like, with he was kind of the more emotional one where it was like, I don't want to go. Or I don't remember what he said, but he said it to Tony Stark.
Yeah. You're talking about... I'm sorry. My mind went to Spider-Man, went to the...
With great power comes great responsibility?
No. Spider-Man...
Into the Spider-Verse.
Into the Spider-Verse. Went to that. Because didn't... Who voiced... Doesn't matter. I'll figure it out. So... But yeah, okay. So I like your opening... And it's a couple months later.
It cuts to a couple months later. John Wick is sitting in a diner with, strangely in the Wick-verse, people don't seem to mind dead bodies around him. So,
That's true.
He's sitting in a diner where he has just killed 2 would-be assassins.
Yes.
Who are still trying to kill him.
Okay.
And so they didn't get the memo that the Continental director,
he
got dusted.
Oh, okay.
And so he's sitting there, John Wick's sitting there eating, and he sees on the news about the purple alien. And
Thumb alien.
Thumb alien. He's starting to piece together what exactly happened.
Okay.
And so,
well, I mean, he would have known that Black Widow was an Avenger.
Oh, that's true.
I mean, that's well known. So maybe he gave a call.
I like that. Actually, let's double back here.
Okay.
It's not a few months later. We're talking weeks.
Yeah, weeks. I can do that.
He or maybe a week. He's figured out that Black Widow probably knows something, so he calls her.
Yeah.
And say, "Hey, what's going on?"
Okay, I like that.
And she fills him in about the purple alien and all of this stuff, and he tells her he killed my dog.
Yeah, of course.
And now it's personal.
And I mean, the moment those words leave his mouth, a cold feeling overtakes Black Widow.
Yeah,
clearly.
Well, and he tells her, "You tell Thanos, I'm coming.
Send all his men.
Send all his men, and I will kill them all.
I will kill them all." Yes.
And then he just hangs up the phone. And of course, that's when that cold feeling comes over. And she's in a briefing room with Captain America.
Yes.
And he says, "Who is that?" And she...
Just that dead thousand
yard stare and says, "Baba Yaga."
Baba Yaga. That's off Major League?
No, you're talking about Joe Boo.
Boo, yeah.
Baba Yaga, Baba Yaga is an actual, I want to say, they used it a lot in Ant-Man and Wasp.
Okay, Baba Yaga, is it the Romanian tale?
Yes.
About the walking house, she's a witch?
Yes.
Yeah, I know that one. That's in D&D too.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
okay.
They use her in D&D. You'll see pictures of her house walking around.
Well, what do they call him? It's not Baba Yaga. What do they call him?
The Boogeyman?
The Boogeyman, yeah.
The Boogeyman. That's like,
yeah.
Baba Yaga. I was like, I don't know where we're going.
Yeah.
I think they just called him the Boogeyman.
I apologize. The Boogeyman, yes. It was close.
Yeah.
Isn't Baba Yaga basically the Romanian Boogeyman?
Yes, it is. She steals bad children at night.
Okay.
So.
Okay. I thought that was Krampus.
Yeah, it is. They worked in tandem.
Okay.
She takes one night off a year.
Okay.
And Krampus gets that night.
Krampus gets that night.
Yeah. So I mean, they have a schedule set up.
That's awful nice of her.
I know.
Like he goes to the house and she's like, "I was on the list."
Oh, it is Baba Yaga. John Wick, Baba Yaga, the Boogeyman. That's
what I thought.
Yeah, but Baba Yaga is Romanian. I thought Baba. Yeah, if it's the witch with the, yeah, that's Baba Yaga. It's a witch.
So wait, does this mean that John Wick takes children?
That's what they're implying. But it's a boogeyman. But yeah, Baba Yaga. See if I can find it. So,
yeah, I thought
she rides in a pot, and that's what she rides around in, or where I guess she collects children in it. And her house has legs, so it can walk around.
That is fascinating.
It's like, there it is, a chicken legs house. That's Baba Yaga's house. So yeah, Bobby. I
thought that's what they referred to him as.
Yeah, which I guess the U.S. translation would be the boogeyman, which I don't think it is American either. I think that might be. I don't know where the boogeyman came from. Find the etymology of that word. But.
Well, we'll figure that out later. We got to get back to our story here.
Yeah.
All right. So, as you know, there's many theories about how they're going to do this, how they're going to pull off getting, taking care of Thanos, but also getting those people back. And also, you know that John Wick is going to be wanting his dog back.
Oh, clearly. He's going to want Poochie.
Right. If it's a possibility, John Wick wants Poochie back.
Yeah.
Is that the name of the dog?
Oh, I don't know.
We're going to go with Poochie.
You like that?
From here on out, John Wick's dog name is Poochie. If you know the real name of the dog, that's fine. I'm impressed. You know more John Wick history than Ryan or Eric and I all know.
Yeah,
we'll bring Ryan into this because Ryan also has seen these movies.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. John Wick starts working it on from his angle.
Yeah, okay.
Because John Wick's, I mean, he's not really a joiner.
No, he's
a loner. He works by himself.
Yeah, he's a lone wolf.
He kind of does his own thing. And so it cuts to him after he says that to her. It cuts to him going to a safe house.
Okay.
One of his safe houses, and he's got a sledgehammer. And he's dragging it behind him.
Has to do the whole tear the bottom up again.
Yeah, he's getting his guns out.
Yep, get his gold coins and his guns.
Right. But this, my friend, this is a special prototype gun.
Oh.
That was given to him by a scientist that worked for S.H.I.E.L.D.
Okay.
After the incident in Avengers 1. He did this scientist a favor.
Okay.
And he gave him these weapons.
Okay, yeah.
And it's a special prototype that S.H.I.E.L.D. was working on that unfortunately no one else could use properly.
Clearly.
Except for John Wick. They said if Nick Fury saw this coming, and he said if there's anyone that can do it, it's John Wick.
Sounds good.
And so he has a special prototype gun made that can destroy mountains because he's going to need something powerful to take out Thanos.
Yeah. Clearly, he's going to need something. I mean, Thanos is no pushover. He's no thug.
This safe house was way off in the woods.
Okay.
He buried this weapon way off in the woods where nobody would find it.
Okay.
So that ever in the case, Nick Fury told him he met Nick Fury through Black Widow.
During
at the Continental, they had a meeting
doing the exchange.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, they had a meeting there at a safe location because John Wick didn't want to meet with them at first. He didn't trust S.H.I.E.L.D. He didn't want to be a part of. He didn't want to be a part of S.H.I.E.L.D., but he was willing to meet with them. And this is all told in a flashback as he's pounding the pavement to get to it.
Perfect.
It shows them. It's cut in between. They're cutting in between the story and him hitting the deal and Nick Fury presenting the gun and all these things and saying, "Hey, listen, I'm not expecting you to use it now or even use it for us, but one day we'll call upon you." And
here, John Wick works for no man. So Fury would be that when you see the need that this needs to be used, you have it.
He just hands it to him and goes, "You'll know when."
Yes.
He doesn't even have to say anything else. He's like, "You'll know when." I like that.
Yeah.
That's a great angle. And so he pulls out this massive gun.
Okay.
And so he goes hunting for Thanos.
Okay.
Now, if you remember correctly, like you pointed out a little earlier, Thanos snapped, the glove's broken.
Yeah.
And he's off on some farm. There's been debate. For my purposes of the story, I think he went to another planet.
Yeah, me too.
And so John Wick goes and he's trying to figure out more information about.
Well, there's a lot of enemies still in the ships. Mm-hmm. They were destroying them, but say some got away, and he happened to somehow find them as they were hiding. Some of the enemies, and he could extract some information.
That's true.
Maybe not where Thanos is at, but some sort of information.
John Wick doesn't really extract information. He more extracts blood from people.
Yeah, I don't know how to get them together.
I got it.
Okay.
I got it. There is someone that survived. He goes to one man. It's not the Continental guy. The Bowery King from part 2.
Oh, the Bowery King. Okay.
Played by none other than not Neo, but the other guy. Who did he play in Matrix? Orpheus. No. Or Orpheus? Was it Orpheus?
Morpheus?
Morpheus. There you go. It was Morpheus. Anyway, Morpheus, he goes to the Bowery King asking for information. The Bowery King, of course, does his he hem-haws a little bit, tells him a story about what happened during the invasion. Tells John Wick, I should kill you now and get the money, but there's nothing to get.
Because the world has
the Continental no longer stands.
That's right. It's gone. And who else is gone? I mean, much of his network, half his network is gone.
Yes.
Along with half the people that used him.
John Wick tells him, I will get you back your network if you give me the information. And so the Bowery King tells him, hey, the Avengers are getting together and they have a plan.
Oh, okay. Okay. So he knows about the Avengers kind of.
Well, the Bowery King was a very well-connected character.
Yes.
He seemed to know a lot of what was going on, but his network has told him they've been watching the Avengers, and the Avengers seem to have a plan. He loads up and he drives out to where the Avengers are. I don't know if you saw Ant-Man and Wasp.
Yeah, I just saw that a week ago.
Yes. Did you see the after credits scene?
I don't remember.
Where they get dusted. He's in the multiverse, or the little miniverse thing.
Oh, no, I didn't see that. I did not watch to the end.
Okay.
I watched it off of Netflix.
The Wasp lady makes a comment, says, don't get hit by a time pocket. So there's many theories that and if you've seen the trailer for End Game, that the Ant-Man shows up in this van that has one of those, it has a small version of the thing that makes people shrink.
Oh, okay. They jump in the back of it and they shrink?
Yes.
Okay, makes sense.
And so it shows all the Avengers walking in one of those, in a modified Ant-Man suit.
Okay.
And so the theory is that they're going to go in there and that's how they're going to time travel. Well, here's what I'm proposing. John Wick gets there to see the last person jump in and shrink. And so even without a suit, John Wick looks at it and says, well, he's got a suit. He's got along with the weapon came a suit.
Okay, that makes sense.
And so he's got this suit on and he's walking up to this thing and he sees it still on and he kind of shrugs and jumps in.
Okay.
And it drops him right into the middle of the war in the first Avengers.
Okay.
Where the other Avengers were heading.
Okay.
And so he's in there. He sees Black Widow there, and he kind of
doing his gun foo or whatever.
Right. I mean, he's blowing those aliens out of the sky. Hulk's sense. Jumping around. He accidentally shoots Hulk.
Oh,
Hulk dies.
Hulk dies
because he automatically assumes that something that big and green has to be evil.
Yeah, makes sense.
And so Hulk dies. He apologizes.
He apologizes. Sorry, my bad.
And then all of a sudden he realizes, because they fill him in on what was supposed to happen, Hulk's role and all of it. And he realizes, okay, I need to fill in the Hulk's role. So he starts blasting things out of the sky.
Okay.
That big giant worm thing starts coming at him, and Captain America's like, what are we going to do? I can't say Hulk smash. And he's like, John Wick kill. And so he just blasts the thing. Yeah. I mean, it's pretty much John Wick saving the day. The same thing happens. Iron Man still flies up into the sky, blows up the ship and falls through.
Makes it, yeah.
Then John Wick, using one of the suits that the dead Hulk had, he travels back even farther stopping him. This is where it gets real crazy. He goes back and tells himself not to shoot the Hulk.
Oh, okay. But so you know how in Infinity War, Hulk didn't want to come out?
Yes.
Though he had changed the timeline, whereas Hulk is fine. I mean, that you're telling me,
right?
That he changed the time to not kill the Hulk. That when the time collapsed, the Hulk still had memory of John Wick.
He did.
So he refuses to come out.
And that's what comes into play. We got 7 minutes left.
Oh, man.
So we're going to have to...
We don't have enough time for this.
We're going to have to skip...
Yeah, let's skip forward.
Skip ahead.
Let's get over the fluff. Thanos and Wick.
Yeah, okay. So, here's how it goes down. Wick is jumping through time, correcting things. He gets to the Wakanda fight at the end of Infinity War. The people are all standing there. He comes walking out, just out of nowhere, just comes walking out of the forest.
I love it. Just that walk.
Striding, yeah.
Yeah.
You know when all of the aliens are like hitting that wall?
Yeah.
And then you have all the Avengers and the other army lined up on the other side? Wick just walks in between it all. Like he just comes walking out of the forest and it just shows him just walking. And like everybody's like, who's that? Who's that? And it, much like you said, you got Mark Ruffalo, you got Bruce Banner in the Iron Man suit. He recognizes him.
Yeah, his eyes turn.
Yeah, his eyes turn. Hulk recognizes him immediately.
Of course.
And he goes, Wick! And so he like all of a sudden starts busting out of the Hulk Buster armor. And he's all of a sudden, he is rampaging and he runs up to Wick. And that's right when he's about to punch Wick. And that's right when everybody breaks through, when the other crowd breaks through. And Wick points his finger at him. He says, Hulk, smash. And Hulk like turns and smiles at Wick. Yeah. All of a sudden getting that respect.
Yeah.
Knowing he's dealing with an alpha.
Yeah.
He's dealing with his alpha. And so I love it. He takes off just smashing all these bad guys. Of course, the Wakanda fighters, Wick's blasting people. And all of a sudden that's when Thanos, he comes in he's got the gauntlet on. Yeah. And he comes walking in. That's when he's getting the Mind Stone, the last stone from Vision.
Yeah, Vision.
And so he's doing all of this, like he's just striding across. He gets to Vision, and right when he is going to, he does that whole thing. Like John Wick's he's following him. He's still killing people, but he's following him. And right when he gets to where he is going to take the stone, John Wick shoots it out of his hand.
Shoots his hand off.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he's going for it, but all of a sudden as he reaches for it with the gauntlet, the stone falls into place.
Oh.
And that's when Thor shows up with his axe and don't worry, John Wick all the way through this movie has been using other people's, just like he does. He's rolling around, shooting people, making them shoot themselves with their own weapons or claw their own eyes out in some cases.
Yeah. Yep.
And so at the very end, like Thor throws his axe and he hits his arm and Thanos is like,
you should have aimed for the head.
Right.
Yeah.
But that line doesn't come out. Because just at that moment, the side of his head blows open.
Oh, I love it. And
Wick comes walking out of the woods and he looks at Thor and he goes, always go for the head. And just, as his
hands up and it just collapses down.
It falls down to the ground.
Yep.
and so everybody, all of a sudden the war is coming to an end, and Doctor Strange shows up, and he does this. He kind of does his hands, and he's like, and that's the 14,721,000 scenario that showed our victory.
Yes, that's
John Wick.
I was going to say that Doctor Strange has to show up at the end, and then that's him actually describing it.
Yes.
Yeah, and then you see you're back at the beginning. Wick's dog is in his arms, vanished, and that's the end of the movie.
What, you back at the beginning when his dog vanished? I saw the dog like running.
Oh,
all of a sudden you hear a barking, and Wick's like, "What's that?" And all of a sudden the dog comes running up, and he's like, "Good dog."
Good dog.
And that's everything fades out.
Oh, that's even better. I like that.
Now let's talk. We've got a minute 50 here. What are we talking? Post-credit scene, mid-credit scene?
Oh, for
John Wick End Game.
John. I see what would be in that. So clearly, he even though he's not there, you see an honorary space at the Avengers headquarters, and it just John Wick.
I like that.
For sure, you see that.
But it's Captain America standing in front of it, saying, "Truly, he was the greatest of all of us."
Exactly.
Yeah.
Everyone that walks by, very much reverence.
Yes.
You see, of course, Wick is at a farm. He's out in the country. His dog's running. Yeah.
But there's like a bullet flies by him, and he pulls out a gun and just shoots off in a direction, and a guy falls out into the street. Like he blindly fires, and he just hits the guy. And that's another credit scene.
Yeah, I like that.
The final credit scene.
What do you got?
I am saying is he goes back to the Continental.
Okay.
Ian McShane's character, the guy that runs it.
Yeah, Ian McShane. Yeah.
Him and the Bowery King are standing there. They apparently, in the Parabellum trailer, they're talking to each other, but they're standing there, and he walks up to him and goes, "I got you your network back, and I saved the world. So now you owe me. So take the bounty off.
Oh.
I retire."
I get you.
And that's it.
And it's over.
And that's the John Wick End Game. Retirement.
Yeah. Just
And that's all we got time for. Eric, I believe we just described the greatest movie in the history of movies.
You sure did. I think you took control of maybe 85-90% of that.
Anybody that's listening to this, Sci-Fi, give us a call. But anybody that's listening to this, you just witnessed and heard the greatest movie ever to be made on any type of media written today as we have sat here.
Exactly. Nick, you're amazing.
Eric,
you're a wordsmith.
I want to tell you right now, it's been a pleasure writing this. And, buddy, why don't you tell them where they can find us?
Well, you can find us all over this big, beautiful world. You can find us on Facebook. Just search for Pulpit Chair Podcast. YouTube, Pulpit Chair Podcast. You can find us on iTunes and all the podcasting apps. Of course, just search for Pulpit Chair Podcast. We do have our own site. It is puckpodcast.website, pucpodcast.website. Why website? Why not? And last but not least, we have a Twitter, and it's at Pulpit Chair Pod. You can tweet us at that and find us there. There you go, Nick.
All right. Well, thank you for listening. Thank you for witnessing history. Eric, I'm already calling it. This is going to be a blockbuster of a podcast. Because people that listen to it are going to tell others. And they're only going to... It's going to become as big as the Avengers End Game. But let me leave you all with a thought. Last week, I ended with a thought from a great American.
Yes, you did.
From Abraham Lincoln himself.
Classic.
But it got me thinking, Nick, you need to leave the people with a little something, some encouragement. And so, for a while, we're going to leave with a Keanu Reeves thought for the week.
Nice. How uplifting.
I'm going to read you a quote from the old Keanu. I don't know if he really said it or not, but it's been attributed to him. And that's all that matters. He says, sometimes we get so caught up in our daily lives that we forget to take the time out to enjoy the beauty in life. So you know what? Go out there, enjoy a little beauty in life, and have yourself a great day.
Bye.